Okay, well, I just finished the comms box. I haven't installed it in the car yet, but here it is. It's just a box that has some plugs on it and some interconnects on the inside using a PCB that I made that just kind of jumps the connections to where they need to go. So it's basically just a pin-to-pin converter that is screwed down on the inside of this box. You can see on the bottom, there's like little brass inserts. I just use the brass inserts to secure the circuit board, and you can kind of see the wiring inside there. Yeah, so it's literally just a pin-to-pin circuit board that connects the voltage to the right pins on the harness that goes to the radar detector and the dash cam. So the way it works is pretty simple. Like I already said, it's just a pin-to-pin, and the CAN connection is literally just a one-to-one pin connection. It's got two connectors on there, one to pull from the ASC plug, where the artificial engine noise usually comes from. I unplugged it. I had the dealer disable it, but I also unplugged it, and I got the connector that it uses from DigiKey right here. The part number is in the maintenance manual, I think. So I just pulled that part number, ordered the plug and the pins, and made my own connector for it. I'll put the link to that down in the description. And then that goes to a circular 6-pin connector on the bottom here. And then it's literally just going straight to the same pins on the top connector. So you put this in the car, plug this into the ASC connector, and then if you want to pull data off the CANBus, or I think I also pulled battery voltage and then ignition voltage, so it's only powered when the car is turned on. You can just plug into this top connector right here and pull all that information. It literally just comes from the ASC plug. And then the other 8-pin connector here, I didn't actually need 8 pins. I thought I was going to, but turns out I didn't. Because that goes to, whoa, this header right here. And you can see these bottom 3 don't have a connection to it. For the schematic, VCC is 12 volts. Here is the input. You have a 12-volt source on the top here, this 2-pin connector, and a 5-volt source right here. I used a 12 to 5-volt buck converter inside, so I only need to connect it to 12 volts. If you want to connect 5 volts and 12 volts separately, you can just use one of these headers. I might change this design a little bit so you can just connect it without having to put 2 wires into 1 pin. But yeah, I'll probably rev this drawing to do that. But this is set up right now, so you have a 5-volt connector and a 12-volt connector. So my radar detector is 12 volts, that's why it's 12 volts, and then the dash cam is 5 volts, hence the 5 volts. So the first pins, 1 and 2, give you 12 volts and ground, so you plug into pin 1 and pin 2 for your radar power, and then pin 3 and 4 is 5 volts and ground, that goes to my dash cam, and then the mute button is on pin 5. Now that goes to, I think, yeah, pin 4 on the RJ11. Now, for the mute button to be activated, the RJ11 pin 4 needs to be connected to ground. So this basically just comes out here from the RJ11 pin 4 to the mute button and then back to ground. So whenever that mute button is pressed, it gets a signal from ground, boom, activated. And then 6, 7, and 8, not used. So yeah, you could just buy 3 6-pin connectors and it would work fine. Yeah, and then from the ASC plug, we have battery, ignition, CAN, chassis ground, CAN high, another chassis ground, and CAN low. Pin 1 is battery, 2 is ignition, so it only gets power when the ignition is turned on, chassis ground, CAN high, chassis ground, and CAN low. So this 6-pin connector is fully populated, and those signals just come in from the ASC plug. So here's just some of the work that I did. You know, just took a picture, denoted the pins, and then, you know, wrote down a quick schematic to figure out where I'm going to put everything, and then kind of a mock-up sketch for this. And then here I actually populated the connectors. You can really shrink this box a lot if you don't put as much wire on here and use JST or DuPont connectors and just solder it directly on. I would like to eventually make a board where the connector just solders directly on, and the height of this box is only like half of this size, because I think this is way bigger than it needs to be. But for now, a working prototype, it's not bad. So yeah, the PCB pin for the dash cam, radar detector, and radar mute button is here. So on the PCB, pin 1 is 12 volts, and that connects to pin 1 on the circular connector. Pin 2 is ground, 2 on the circular connector, 3 is 5 volts. Pin 3 on the circular connector, 4 is ground, same. 5, mute signal, same. And then I have the colors that I used here, so it was just easier to reference. Screenshot from the schematic, and then the 6-pin connector, I put down the colors that I put there. I should have made it the same colors as I did on the 8-pin, but I didn't. I don't know why. Don't ask me why, I just didn't. And then for the connection to the CANBus and the chassis, ground, voltage, all that stuff is here. So on the ASC connector, you can see right here is the pins that I used and I populated. So I don't know why I populated these two down here. I don't know what they are. But you have pin 1 and 9 is ground, pin 12 is CAN low, pin 4 is CAN high, pin 11 is ignition, pin 3 is battery. And then this is the layout of the connector right here. And I kind of oriented it similar so you could see, kind of correlate those pins a little easier. And then I put those pin to pins here. So the ASC pin 1 ground goes to the PCB pin 3. That goes to the PCB pin 3 on the connector, and then that connects to the circular connector pin 4. I kind of built this in stages so the pin numbers don't line up. That's kind of why. If I had planned this all out start to finish before I started, the ASC plug pin is not going to match up because it's just kind of scattered all over the place. That was Toyota's design. I don't have any control over that. So yeah, that's about it. What I can do is I'll probably put all this in a document, like a PDF or something that you can download and use to build your own. I will put these 3D models for this on Thingiverse. I'll put that link down in the description as well. And then all the parts that I used, I'll have links that I used to build this. And in fact, I'll just put all that in the PDF. That way you can use the PDF, go to the links, and then build your own. If you're interested in buying a kit where I just kind of throw all this stuff together and then you can buy it, let me know. I'll also include the schematics for how to make the harnesses. I'll probably make those schematics in Easy EDA, and I'll just use connectors like these header connectors to denote the connectors on either end. But yeah, if you'd like a complete guide on how to build one of your own, let me know. I'll probably make it anyway and just throw the link down in the description. And if you would like to order like a parts kit where everything's put together and included for you, let me know. If there's interest in that, I would be happy to go ahead and list something like that. I'd need to batch order some parts, so if 10-20 people are interested in something like this, let me know. But I think it would really go a long way to clean up the wiring if you've got a dash cam and a radar, and then you want to relocate the mute button to somewhere more convenient. You don't have to do it exactly like I did. You can modify the design however you want to suit your own needs. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way this turned out. It'll clean up the wiring a lot. And then I'm trying to think of anything else. I don't think I have anything else. Thank you for watching. I hope this was useful. I hope that something like this is interesting to you. If you have any ideas, let me know. Hit me up down in the comments. I'd be really happy to hear what you guys think, and if you guys have any ideas of how I could make this better, I think that would be super cool. I probably won't build it myself, but I will definitely include it in the manual, so other people, if they want to do something different, the suggestions that I have from you guys, I'll put in the manual, and that way other people can have access to it too, and they can have different ideas of how they might want to do it. But for me, this is functional. There's no reason for me to change the design right now, so I don't plan on it. And the cool thing about this is you can modify this box and this circuit board to accommodate any sort of connection you need. Like, it doesn't just have to be the CANBus and then the radar and dash cam stuff. It can be anything. So you could even build a little box that, you know, you have a fuses in for, you know, maybe lighting that you install, or, you know, a different horn or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, super cool. I'm really happy with it. The glove box is a really great spot. For this specific one, I'm going to drill 4 holes in the back of the glove box and then screw it in like this and just sandwich it on there to mount this box. But again, you could use like maybe just nuts on the back, whatever you want. This is really just kind of a, hey, this is my solution. Use whatever you need. You don't use whatever you don't need. Modify it to fit your use case. Anyway, I hope that was informative. If not informative, I hope it was at least entertaining. Be sure to be kind to someone today, and I will see you next time. Peace.